Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Adobe Live. It's stream 41 for us here in the UK, and it's a busy one today. I'm joined by Rufus, of course, my co-host.
Hey, Emma.
Also, hey, how are you doing?
Good. Oh, you're
you're
here.
We also have a certain Calfreezy and producer Sam, who's joining us today. Some of you might know from a parallel universe called YouTube. Thanks for joining us, guys. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm excited to be here and have a chat about everything YouTube that me and Sam get up to. I managed to drag Sam along as well because he's actually the magic behind all my videos. So yeah, I'm buzzing for today.
Super excited. And yeah, today we're chatting about something really special that's been happening behind the scenes at Adobe. We're super excited to have you here to announce a partnership with Live Nation on the Marshmallow video for his new single, Be Kind. An absolute tune, really, and a phenomenal kind of initiative for the community about kindness and community as well. So
yeah, I've been listening to it. I've been listening to it on a loop last night, and I felt very kind.
So excited.
Yeah.
You were? You're not usually this kind, Rufus, you know?
I know. I'm usually, grumpy and like angry and like, I want to get out of here. But today I'm kind.
Love it. That's great. And of course, we'll walk everyone at home as well through, how to be more kind, like Rufus, but also what the partnership means, how you can get involved, and what Cal's been doing along with Sam. So.
But before we start, I just wanted to say hi to everybody who's already in the chat, like Zoe, Lucy, Steve, Sandra, Robert, Victoria, Kirsty is here, Steve from New Zealand. Wow, Steve, it must be so late. I don't know what you're doing up at this time, but anyway, good for you. Thanks for joining us. Rai, there's so many people already in the chat. So remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, hop on over to behance.net/live because that's where the chat action is. And the cool thing about these live streams is that you can ask questions, guess what, live. So this is the place to be, behance.net/live.
Awesome. Then on to our guests today, Cal and Sam, little duo with us. Cal, you're known as Calfreezy on YouTube. You're a content creator, and you're here with your producer, Sam, as you said, that you managed to drag along. So great to have you. But yeah, you live and breathe on YouTube 24/7, it feels. So tell everyone who you are, what you do, and how you kickstarted this whole career of yours.
Yeah, so like you said, my name is Callum, and then on YouTube or across social media as Calfreezy. And I started on YouTube, I think it's been 10 years now. So I've been doing this for probably far too long, but we're still going, and somehow I'm just about coming up with video ideas with the help of Sam as well. But yeah, no, I started about 10 years ago. I actually started with a lot of gaming content. It was actually Call of Duty that I started playing with. I sort of recorded that. Back then, the way you recorded your content, there was no way to get HD. So everything, it was literally like, as if I recorded it with a toaster. It was that bad. And from there, I used that. And then I made enough money. I saved up, and then I got an HD recording device, managed to do that, and all this time I was uploading, and it was never really a job. YouTube wasn't a job back then. It was impossible. It was unheard of to be a YouTuber. That didn't exist. And then it sort of came at the perfect time, just before I was about to go to university. I ended up making enough money to the point where I could be self-sustaining, and I moved down to London with a few of my friends, and I've sort of never looked back from there and continued to make videos. And it was still a lot of gaming. It then moved into FIFA from there. And now we make all sorts of videos, really. I mean, me and Sam don't really have a boundary. It just tends to be whatever we think up over the day. So yeah, it's all sorts of vlog stuff, me and my friends messing around. That's usually the best way to describe it. I get a lot of people, how would you describe your YouTube channel? And the best way to describe it now is just me and my friends messing around.
What a life. I love it.
Even cooking, I hear, huh?
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, if anyone here is watching and they don't know my channel, do not come for any cooking advice. It is simply entertainment. Some of the meals we've attempted to cook on there have been shambolic. So
what have you cooked? I'm keen to know.
Oh boy,
putting you on the spot.
No. I mean, what we cooked, Sam? I think I've made a hamburger.
Oh,
Nice.
A homemade hamburger though, so I actually
Safe.
I think the best one was when someone used hard uncooked pasta as a garnish to finish off a meal.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
we had just raw pasta that was fantastic. Yeah, it's just a real mess. You know, I don't want to go too much into it because it just gets embarrassing, to be honest. But it is entertaining, and that's the point.
all right. Yeah, and that's the point, right? I mean, you said you've been doing that for quite a while now, and I think the whole point is that you're still having fun, and that's the trick. You know, as long as you have fun, it's all good.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I mean, we've had because as the way, like, you know, I've been doing it for 10 years, so I would have been 15 when I started. And your interests and the things you like doing and the things you like filming are very different to now, me being 25. Although I feel like I haven't matured at all, but my videos definitely are a lot different to what they were like 10 years ago.
Isn't it funny to watch like old YouTube videos and see that they were really small?
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah, and then I managed to bring Sam along, and then all of a sudden my videos magically got better.
So how long have you guys worked together then?
Oh no. I think we're coming up to 4 years, I believe.
Yeah.
He sniped me out of university, and that's been my life ever since.
I managed to get that cheap labor straight out of university.
Ooh.
And no, ever since then, it's been good fun. Sam started editing FIFA videos, and then I could see the pain in his eyes every time I asked him to edit another FIFA video. And so I decided, you know what, I think it's time to change that now. And so he was part of me transitioning from a lot of like gaming, football related content into the stuff that I do now.
Yeah, just trying stuff out as well. And I mean, you have YouTube, but social media is a huge kind of platform for you as well, right? Like you grew a massive community on there. And like, how did that also, you know, start? And what do you get from it as well? And
yeah, I mean, I've sort of had my Instagram and Twitter. Those were I think Twitter was probably the first one that I had. And ever since then, you know, those two have sort of grown together. They sort of stayed around similar numbers the whole way. But then you have things like TikTok, which have come along recently, that we've jumped on board with. We've had a lot of fun with stuff like that, trying to figure out what people want to see on there. And then also with the challenge that you guys set us as well about being kind. It was tough to be kind, but I managed to pull it out the bag.
You're another Rufus in here. You guys, this is bad. Come on.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to try.
It was good fun. So yeah, then you know, we've been doing a lot of TikTok based content, and that's been it's really different actually, which has been really good fun and a nice challenge for us.
Keeping you inspired and on your toes. Rufus, who do we have in the chat who's joining as well? We need to like talk to everyone at home.
So
see if
Tim
they're
is
saying
posting
hi.
the links to, of course,
Cool.
the YouTube channel, and the Kind Challenge is amazing, says Kirsty. Okay, so some people already know about it, but you know, like I think maybe this is a good time, Emma, to talk about that Be Kind.
Sure, definitely. So we're having a chat about Be Kind. Obviously, everyone at home must have heard about it, and I mean, Rufus, you were talking about listening to it yesterday as well. And of course, we want to talk you guys through what the partnership means, how you can get involved, you know, some of the work that Cal and Sam have come up with as well. And really, we're celebrating creativity and kindness. And all of you at home will be able to access a number of assets. And we're going to be creating this mega video, a fan video for Marshmallow and his YouTube channel. And you can get involved, join into the link. We'll share everything during the stream as well today. And download a number of assets and create your own little snippet and be in a chance to win some pretty cool prizes.
Yeah, and like there's a $10,000 cash prize or equivalent, you know, like in other countries. And there's also inclusion in the official Marshmallow Be Kind fan video, an autographed life-size Marshmallow helmet. Is that cool or what?
I'd love one of those, yeah.
A virtual meet and greet with Marshmallow, and of course a 12 month.
12 years. We'll still be here like streaming.
of Adobe Creative Cloud. So 1 year of Creative Cloud. And there's also 9 second place winners, and that's like $400 in cash or equivalent. Inclusion in the fan video, autographed Marshmallow poster, and a 3-month all app Creative Cloud subscription. So there's a lot of prizes to be won. Oh, and Tim already posted the link in the chat here on behance.net/live. So that's really cool. Find out, like, really read the terms and conditions and all of these things to see if you can apply. There must be some limitations, maybe, I don't know.
There are, for sure. There are.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, but read the stuff before you do that. But it's definitely a really cool thing to participate. On that same webpage, there's a lot of examples of what people are doing already, because and you know what I really like is that you can download a whole bunch of assets of little logos and clips and stuff, motion graphics. But all of this we'll of course see now with Cal and Sam. And then there's a submission gallery, which is pretty cool. So you can actually see what people are posting. There's some pretty cool stuff. Yeah,
a couple housekeeping things as well. This runs until June 3rd, guys. So get involved as soon as possible. Hop on off the live stream after this. Not now, obviously. Stick around, but get started and create something and just try it out. And something we haven't mentioned is the products as well. So you can create your video through Rush, Premiere, or After Effects. And today we'll be focusing on Premiere, right, guys? Sam and Cal. But yeah, we're excited to see what you guys have come up with.
Yeah, but maybe before we start like digging into the the nitty gritty Premiere stuff, maybe let's chat a little bit more with Cal and
Yes.
Like for example, you started the More Calfreezy channel like 5 years ago. Like what prompted you to make that change, like to
so that channel was created just as I wanted to. So that was part of the transition between a lot of the gaming content and the vlog content before I made, because at that time I sort of wanted to still keep going with the gaming stuff on my main channel and then do like all the vlogging style content on this More Calfreezy channel. And it came at a time where I was going on holiday with my friends quite a lot, so I would film. I was going away. I started doing that, and then it got to a point where I was like, actually, I don't really want to do the gaming related stuff. So I didn't. The More Calfreezy channel sort of came to a halt, and I just moved all the vlog content onto my main channel. And so I guess that channel was just really helpful in terms of transitioning my audience from one style of content that they're used to a completely different vertical.
So that whole vlogging thing, how did it happen? Like what you mentioned the vacation, maybe that was the start, but like
no, I think it was more so I'd been playing and recording me playing video games for so long that eventually your interest sort of dwindles, and I was looking for something else to get involved in, and at that time I was finding myself doing a lot of real life football stuff, so certain football challenges, so my audience was still very football orientated, and they were they liked the idea of me playing football, so I started doing that, and it was just a very slow transition from changing it from FIFA into football challenges and then into vlog style content, and it's all based around just the videos that I wanted to make. That's probably the most important thing to me, and how I've been managing to stay sane for all these 10 years making videos is really just making the videos that I wanted throughout the entire time. And if there's been times where I would take sort of 6 months break on YouTube because you're just at a point there where you're like, I'm not enjoying the videos I'm making, or I'm a bit stuck for ideas, and it's important just to take that break, refresh, come back with a new set of eyes, and keep going. And I think that's been one of the reasons why I've been managing to go for so long now.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. Like taking a break can be so important sometimes. I know that with YouTube and most social media, there's always this pressure of publishing.
Yeah.
So I think it's really great that even someone like you with so many subscribers on YouTube and followers on Twitter can actually take a break. There's nothing wrong with that, and I think that's really cool. Like refresh and recharge and get ready for the next thing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think, like you said, there's this huge pressure, and a lot of people will say you got to especially on YouTube, it's like you've got to upload at least once a week, XYZ. And there's no doubt that, that it is true that you do need to be consistent, and it's needed. But at the same time, you know, if you're consistently putting out content that isn't, you know, what you believe to be the best that you can put out, then, you know, is there really any point in doing it? For me anyways, the way that I've always believed is, you know, I want to be putting out content that I enjoy watching. So what we'll do is once me and Sam make the video, we'll watch it at the end and we'll go, yeah, that was really good. Or sometimes we go, yeah, this is not the one, we need to go back and start again, and we'll go back and we'll restart it. And sometimes you just need to, you know, say, right, we're not going to do it again today, we'll come back tomorrow, fresh pair of eyes, and crack on with it.
And is that planning kind of super spontaneous as well, or how do you go around planning content like ahead and coming up with ideas?
Sam will probably kill me, but it, you know, we tend to do it pretty on the fly. You know, if we're super in charge, which we sometimes are, like, you know, we can be a few weeks ahead, but that's really probably the absolute furthest that we go is a couple of weeks.
That's
ahead.
rare.
Yeah, that is rare, exactly. And then it doesn't take long before we fall behind and we're literally having to turn around a video in 24 hours or less. I mean, there's days where we've filmed, edited, and uploaded all on the same day. And I know Sam, that's not Sam's favorite thing to do.
They're interesting days.
Stand over him with a whip. I say, mate, this has to go out tonight.
And a lot of coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there are 24 hours in a day, so plenty of time.
Hey, that's what I say.
Who needs sleep?
Yeah, exactly.
I can hear a tear. We can't see you, but we can hear the brain.
Sam's
There's a
eyes
reason
are-
I don't have a camera.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's right. No, that's
And
awesome.
Cal,
Yeah.
maybe a question about the community. Of
Yeah.
course, you know, like community building was an essential part of, you know, the work that you've done on, you know, on the social channels. How do you view the community? How do you engage with them? How do you like? What's your method?
I mean, you know, so YouTube probably is maybe the worst for community-based things, just because you know, the only way you can really connect, in my opinion, is through through comments on videos. Obviously, you have live streams, that's a bit different. But you know, the comments. So reading those comments, taking the feedback. I mean, you'll get a lot of people that have no idea what they're talking about, and you just have to learn to, you know, accept that people are just going to voice their opinion no matter what they're going to say. A lot of the time, it's complete rubbish, but a lot of the time as well, there's some really good feedback to be taken. A lot of constructive criticism in there. But the place that I find myself connecting the most with my community is probably through Twitter and Instagram. Instagram stories in particularly, and then through Twitter. I mean, for me, it's Twitter. That's the one that I use the most. I tweet out absolute rubbish, and to my amazement, there's people replying to it and getting involved, and then I respond to them, and you just go back and forth, and I've created a fantastic community. Live streaming, you know, this is for me the pinnacle. It's the best. You know, you're having live interaction with people, like you said, like you're doing now, answering either their questions, talking to them, and that's what I've been doing a lot over this lockdown period. And it's actually got a little bit to do with the Be Kind challenge that I had. You know, I really involved my community. They've supported me for however many years they've been with me, and it was nice to be able to give back. And I did that through the medium of live streaming.
And that's the thing with YouTubers as well, is that you see a lot of them kind of growing up and they've been doing this content for so long. Like, how do you stick around with your audience? Because you're seeing them kind of grow along with you, right? And you're like, well, how am I still relevant to you? Or are you seeing kind of younger audiences now who are kind of also interested in your content? Or how does that work?
I think I actually just found that, so like I said from the beginning, I always made videos that I want, and that obviously changed with my age. And so that attracted an older audience as I was growing up. So really, I just grew with my audience, which was fantastic, because now I've managed to, you know, so I'm 25, so, you know, I have fans that are, you know, early 30s, but then I also have fans that are sort of 14, 15, 16 as well. And so it's been great. I'm sort of right in the middle now. When I was like 15, 16, you don't tend to find people in their 20s watching a 15, 16-year-old. So by me growing along with my content, it's been fantastic. I've been able to capture a larger audience.
About community, there's James asking, do you have a strategy in terms of trying to grow your community and retain them, or?
You know, the thing is with YouTube, and you know, as much as me and Sam have tried before, is we've attempted to sort of lay out plans, strategies, things like that. But what we end up finding, what always tends to work best, is really being just on top of whatever's trending, and being as quick to react to certain things as possible. So, you know, there'll be a time where, you know, there was a time on YouTube where it's like you would put, for example, $10,000 burger versus $500 or first a $5 burger,
Yeah.
and those, for that exact format there, is what was trending on YouTube, and everyone wanted to watch it. So you know, you have to be really sort of switched on in that sense, and finding out what is trending, what is popping, things like that. And that's the way. That's probably been my strategy, is to be on top of what's trending, and so far it's worked for me, and just being really involved in the analytics of things as well.
Mm-hmm. So from community, let's shift to another point, like the collaborations you're doing, and I think that's also something that, you know, that is like increasingly important, like to collaborate with others, and I just wanted to hear your take on that.
Yeah, you know, anyone that watches my channel will see that all my videos include me and all my friends. You know, 90% of the time, my friends you do YouTube as well, because it sort of brought us all together in the first place. And so collaborating is absolutely key. One thing I have found, though, is it has to feel somewhat like genuine, if you will, or you at least have to have a connection with someone before just, you know, randomly coming out of the blue and collaborating with them. I find that it's very easy to tell on video if two people or sort of get along or known each other before, or, you know, are already friends before a video. That can really tell, and if I can tell, then it means that all the audience can tell as well. So collaborating is fantastic, but I think it has to be done in the right way with the right people that you're comfortable with, and that, because that will, no matter what, it comes across very easily in a video.
No, definitely. It can feel fake.
Yeah, exactly.
And fake is the one thing that you want to avoid.
Yeah, and you know, if there's anyone that is amazing for calling it out, it is the internet. The internet will see right through it.
No one is safe.
Yeah, no one is safe, exactly. So,
you know, I just a quick story here. Like I remember, like maybe 10 years ago, I was forced. You know, I work as an evangelist for Adobe, and I always speak my voice. I always speak, you know, my truth, and like I always try to be very straightforward and never lie. Okay, but one day, some marketing department told me, no, you have to do these videos. There's like 3-minute videos, and you have to say, this is a time saver, and blah, blah, blah. You know, like they scripted everything for me, and it sounded so bad. And you're right. Twitter flamed up. My YouTube channel flamed up. What the hell are you doing, Rufus? Like, this is not you. You know?
And never again. Lesson
never
10 years ago. This is how quickly it backfires.
Exactly.
But can we, like, Cal, can we highlight some projects or like collabs you had that were like, yeah, you know, a perfect example of this working out? Obviously not the not working out. We'll keep that under in the down low.
I mean, you know, we have a prime example is actually going back to those cook-off videos. You know, I do them with my friends. And I think it's one of the reason why they are probably or a fan favorite is just because it's me, two friends or, you know, one friend, depending on who's involved in the video, that I'm very comfortable with. So the jokes, you know, they all flow perfectly. Sometimes there's inside jokes in there. And, you know, the way you sort of bounce off each other is so apparent in these videos that they go down really well. So yeah, I'd say, you know, the cook-off videos on my channel, you've got them here. You can see I've done, I don't know if my screen's up on the live stream, but you can see just here this one versus my friend Gib. We got this one versus my friend Ethan here. And yeah, you know, they've all done really well in terms of numbers. You know, you have 2.3 million on this one, 1.2 million on that one. There is another one somewhere with my here we go, with my two flatmates. It didn't go quite to plan. You can see there's a little bit of fire back there, but that one also did really well. So yeah, but you can see if you look in all of my thumbnails, you'll see that, you know, they've got my friends in there. And those are just the videos that I enjoy making. It's just with me and my friends messing around, like I said at the beginning. And you know, you'll see there's a lot of similar people in the same videos. And that's because they're the people that I'm most comfortable making videos with.
Yeah, and how are you managing now with lockdown? Because you can't, I guess, only
it's the worst. I mean, I'll tell you how I'm managing. Last upload 2 months ago. That's how I'm managing.
So good.
Yeah. So you know, I have toyed with the idea of potentially, you know, reacting to certain videos and things like that. But me and Sam were on such a roll before all this happened. It's a real shame that this has come, but it's necessary. So, you know, I can't complain too much. And to sort of make up for it, I suppose I've really got involved in live streaming. And I've had so much fun doing that. And by doing that as well, you know, me and my friends both playing a video game, it's the same sort of thing. So yeah, that's the sort of how I've been dealing with it. I've just been immersing myself in video games and watching other people laugh at me attempting to play them.
Sounds real. We should all be doing this, to be honest.
There you go. Just spend 8 hours a day playing video games.
Good use of your time. Anyways, you also have other projects that are coming up, and that's how you're using your time, which includes the Be Kind video, right? So we can maybe dive into this because everyone's asking about it at home. And we also have someone asking, where is Sam? And Sam, you're also in London, right?
I'm about 20 minutes walk from Cal's, but
you are? Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice.
Virtual
you're just frozen on the screen, so he is with us, guys, and do ask him questions as well.
No, he is actually in that. He's just really still.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
Fascinating. Quite the skill. Right. Well, should we get started and talk a bit more about how you got involved, and how you plan the content, where your inspiration came from for the video, and share a bit with the audience who wants to get involved.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll take it from, I guess, the creative side, and then Sam can run you through how he did all the technical side of things. But yeah, so obviously I saw the Adobe challenge. I wanted to get involved, and it was all about being kind. And like I literally just said right there is how I'd been so involved in live streaming, and I'd done a lot of live streaming on Twitch, and I recently hit a milestone of 1 million views on my Twitch, which was absolutely amazing. And I felt as though I needed to give back to the community that I'd created. It's almost like all of our conversation before is all wrapping up into this right now. How amazing. I promise it wasn't rehearsed, but yeah, so, you know.
It wasn't.
Yeah, you know, I know.
I didn't know.
So yeah, the community from there, I really wanted to give back to them. And so with this, I thought, you know what, why not give a bunch of stuff away? I noticed that there was a 30-second limit on it. So that was, you know, probably our hardest challenge there, because we gave away so much stuff. We gave away TVs, Amazon gift vouchers, you know, about £1,000 worth of cash, a bunch of stuff. And to get that to fit into the 30 seconds was our biggest challenge. And Sam will go into that, and we had to cut a little bit out of it. But yeah, so that was really it. And it was about capturing the reactions of the fans in the chat as well, to them either winning them, the giveaways that we did. And it was really good fun. We had a good time, and there were lots of people that tuned in and got involved. And hopefully I made some people's day. I mean, hey, my day would be made if someone just handed me a bunch of cash as well. So.
Love it.
Well, you know, the giveaways and things like that, it's such an interesting topic. And there was also a question from Raghu earlier on, who asked, do you think freebies and giveaways is the best for getting more reach in your niche, or any other ideas? And I think you just pointed out, it is actually not to get more people or more audience. I hate the idea of giving stuff away to get, you know, more people, you know, also because they, you know, they don't grow organically. They're probably just there for the prize or whatever. And in your case, like you said, it's to thank the community. And I love that concept.
Yeah, I mean, I get asked that a lot, actually. I see people like, should I do a big giveaway? Will it attract lots of people? And it's exactly what you've just said is, yes, there probably will be an increase in people or activity, but that is strictly short term. It will not be a long-term thing. And the sort of risk reward, if you will, it isn't really worth it. You'll be putting a lot in and you'll struggle to get a lot out in the long term. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing giveaways and things like that if your goal is to sort of grow whatever platform you're on. And yeah, like you said, I just did it as a way of giving back to the people that supported me for however long they've been watching me.
And Tim just reposted the link here on behance.net/live to go to the Be Kind challenge. So all the information is there, and you will see on that webpage that there's assets you can download, there's things you can use to put on the video you're creating. And this is what, Cal and Sam have been doing. And yeah, I'm super excited to see what you guys have been up to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. It was, it's TikTok content, or it's 30-second, it's short form. It's very different to how a YouTube videos would be made. It's a lot, I guess you could say, simpler. It's been simplified. But at the same time, it's all about getting the message across. And it helps that we had a cool tune that we could use in the video as well. So yeah. I don't know. Did you want Sam to play it for you guys, or how do you guys want to show it?
Yeah, of course. Let's do that.
Yeah. All right, go on, Sam.
All right. Then.
Oh, okay. So now you have to share your screen, Sam.
Sam's frozen.
There we go.
It's been for half an hour.
There we go.
There we go. Nice. Look at this beautifully pale, never seen the sun looking man.
I recognize the curtains.
Yeah, well, look, I wonder where this was filmed. Look, in fact, the washing hasn't moved. If you look, the washing hasn't moved since filming this. Except the chocolate, the tub of chocolate has disappeared. But yeah.
Okay,
there we go.
Yeah, this is like,
need a barista.
Like the forensic investigations of videos.
What's in here?
I see that. Like, just
I love the zoom as well. Great one.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, no, why don't we zoom in even more, Sam?
Exactly, okay. Flattering angle.
It's like, in the CSI, whatever, like enhance. Zooming in.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, so shall I just play it through first?
Yeah,
and then,
I
let's
think
play
let's
one.
have audio through here, hopefully.
All right.
Go for it.
no audio. Okay.
No audio on this one.
You can dub this.
Yeah. So yeah, here we go. I'll commentate. I gave away £3,000 worth of stuff. I gave away a bunch of vouchers, big ass TV. I don't know if I can swear, but a big TV. And this is everyone in the chat getting involved, entering into the giveaway, and you can see people winning it. The whole message was just about being kind, and well, for me, it was giving back to the community that supported me for so long. But yeah, it was it was good fun, and I hope the people that are receiving their prizes had a good time as well. I got loads of messages after, like, "Hey, do you have any more of those TVs lying around?"
And you're like, "Sure, I have this huge stock sitting somewhere." Yeah. That's just what I do. You should get Tim to do the voiceover as well. We were just talking about this before the stream, and you were like, "I'm going to do the voiceover," and I'm thinking, actually, I have someone sitting here who would love to.
Yeah, Tim, you should have done it. What happened, man?
What a letdown.
Oh, and Amy Brown in the chat here. I won £100 as well from Twitter. Thank you, Cal.
Yeah, there you go. So I actually, there was this live stream probably lasted about 2 hours. So that's been condensed into a very, very short form. Well, there you go. Exactly. Sam's showing you guys it was
about an hour and a half.
An hour and a half right there.
Wow.
Worth of footage. And it's all been cut down into the 30 seconds. And I asked anyone that takes a photo with their mum and dad in front of the TV with my live stream on the TV, I will give you £100. So the first 4 people sent them in, and they all won £100 each.
And Cal and Sam, like, you work together on a daily basis. How does that workflow work? Like, do you sit next to each other, or do you just put everything on some server, or like do you collaborate remotely? Like, how does that work?
I mean, normally we're obviously in the same house. I work out of this house in like a spare room that we've set up to be like an office.
Okay.
And we have our normal work days, like, and we sit there and come up with ideas, or if I'm just editing for the day, I'll just sit and edit and won't talk to Cal until the edit's nearly done. Or some days it's just filming and we're all over London or traveling or something else.
Yeah. And yeah, the way it tends to, I mean, obviously through lockdown, we've just had to, send files across to each other and versions. But yeah, like Sam said, usually what would happen is I would just walk into the room and, we'd sit down and discuss video ideas, changes to videos, or like you said, be out and about filming. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. And it'd be great to get an insight into like how you obviously use Premiere as well. And everyone at home who wants to like participate, you can use Premiere, After Effects, or Rush. So just a little reminder. And you can have some basic skills as well. It have to be, some crazy high level editing that you need to do, right? So
that's the thing with this one. It's actually a lot simpler to edit because we're going for the TikTok platform. It's just more about having a high energy cut, nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And everyone who's joining in, just before we start as well, is make sure that you tag Adobe Creative Cloud and hashtag Marshmallow x Adobe on Twitter as well, or on Instagram. So that's how you participate.
Yeah. So, I mean, for us, the main thing with this edit, I mean, you can look at it here. If you compare it to any of the other timelines, I don't know if Sam can show the other ones, but it's a lot simpler than all the other ones here. And that really just comes down to the content that we're creating here, which is, it's very short. You want it to, like you said, to be snappy, to the point. And, that's exactly what we managed to do, is keeping it high tempo. When you have 30 seconds, you want people to be engaged in it for the entire 30. So, if you're having clips that are maybe lasting a little too long, or maybe there's some dead space in the clips as well, those are the first things that we look to get rid of. And then it's just about neating it up and making it quite nice. And when it comes to these sort of clips, I think, when it's so short, if you go too many effects all over the place, it can almost be a little bit too much too quickly. So I think well, the way that we wanted to do this was by keeping it really as simple as possible, getting the message across, and also somehow getting about 1.5 hours worth of footage down into this short story.
Sam is laughing a little bit, like, I've been through all of it 5 times.
That's usually the issue.
Eating eyes, yeah.
And if you just look at this, all that squeeze into
and actually,
your pocket.
Sam, we have a question for you in the chat. Panda's asking, what is a Premiere Pro tip or trick you wish you knew earlier?
Oh,
actually, Cal, question for you as well. So
no, I'll leave this to Sam, because
you're like, nope.
Sam knows all the tips and tricks. If you ask me,
so share your wisdom.
Okay, yeah. I wish I actually knew about the custom shortcuts earlier. Because I've actually gone and made my own shortcuts that I use on all the different PCs. And I made it so my left hand doesn't have to move at all. So all my controls are within like a centimetre reach. It saves milliseconds, but it's a lot better than looking down at the keyboard trying to find the right key. And it's the milliseconds that add up to the seconds, to the minutes, the hours.
And time is money. Time is money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love that.
That's a good tip. Yeah, shortcuts is definitely something that everybody should endeavor some time to look into, because, like Sam says, it saves you milliseconds, which becomes seconds and minutes and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jackie's saying, I have no hope in video and editing. Please try. It's okay. We'll make it. So don't give up just yet. You can see it, like all the inspiration on the gallery, like Rufus said. So you can go on the landing page for the contest and just see what other people are doing. And actually, it's super, accessible. So give it a shot and tag us. And we'd love to see what you're going to do at home as well.
So Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about, okay, so you got the footage, you got this hour and a half long thing.
Yeah.
So, Cal mentioned, okay, of course you cut out the silences and things like that. And you probably get that very, shortcut, like engaging type of video kind of thing, like, with very many cuts.
Yeah, I mean, should I just talk you through the process quickly?
Yeah. Great.
So obviously I'll start off with this hour and a half stream. I also screen captured the Twitch stream to get a better quality on the text box. So once I've synced that up using, if you look here, it's a synchronize tool that I use there, and it syncs up the two audio channels automatically. Very handy tool. And then I go down to trimming it down to try and get the best like reactions, the best giveaways, all squeezed into what is a 15-second gap, because we also have the intro and outro. Yeah, and like Cal said, it's the hardest part was trying to squeeze it into the small gap, because we had so much like good content and great reactions from all the fans. Yeah, that's about it really.
Straightforward.
Yeah, a lot simpler than a usual edit. As you can see in these other timelines, it's a lot longer. There's maybe longer clips. Doesn't need to be as high pace.
How long does that usually take in terms of like your normal edit? You were saying.
It completely depends on the project, to be honest. Like a cook-off, as you can see, it's a 25-minute project. It's probably 2 days worth of editing. Quickest was probably a day. With Cal standing over me with the whip.
Yeah, to be fair, like Sam has got much quicker, but it all comes down to being familiar with the program, and then like you said, finding out the tips, the the shortcuts, things like that. It has got a lot quicker, but it does just depend on the video, and then sometimes we might even have a video that's similar to this TikTok in the sense that there's actually not much needing done to it. It's just about getting the energy and the tempo right. Whereas you might want to the Hawaii video where there's there's an entire montage in there. I think there's 2 or 3 with some really slick transitions and things. That obviously is going to take you maybe 2, 3, 4 days. You can see he's managed to turn the water purple here. It wasn't actually. Of course.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't actually purple. That was. There you go.
Oh no, that's not great.
Yeah. So
I told him change the color of that. Let's make it purple. And people found that funny. So yeah, no, it's been good.
And you said like learning on the go and stuff is like obviously getting used to the product, and the more you do it, the quicker you get and things like that. But do you have any kind of inspiration or tips where you said a lot of your friends are YouTubers as well, so are you managing to all kind of share a little bit of that process, or who did you learn from? Like both of you?
I mean, for me, a lot of the, so when I first started, I edited all my own stuff, and it was all very basic. Like, I mean, if you think this right here is maybe on the simpler side, imagine this, but even simpler somehow. So yeah, that's what I was doing. And we sort of shared a little bit, if there were any problems or we, couldn't figure out how to maybe do a particular effect, then we'd message our friends and try to figure it out, or even just search online. The amount of tutorials, I mean, they are an absolute lifesaver. I often walk in, I see Sam is watching some sort of tutorial on how to do something. And I think that's probably the best way to pick this sort of thing up is, so many resources now online that will teach you how to do it in 2 minutes instead of you trying to figure it out for 2 hours. But yeah, that's for me. I don't know about Sam.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same. Obviously, I went through university and was taught Premiere there a little bit, but I think my most learning was, like Cal says, like making mistakes and then searching online or asking a friend, a fellow editor or something, if they've ever had this problem.
There's
issue or something. Yeah, self-teaching.
Yeah, right. I mean, YouTube is so full of great content now to learn things. It's just with great treasure trove. And there's also many ways, you know, you can do that. Like Tom in the chat is saying, Premiere Rush is a great on mobile. I'm entering the challenge purely with an iPhone. And that's also a way you can do that, of course. Yes, because for those of you who don't know, Premiere Rush is it's a mobile application to create videos, and it's really thought for people, you know, who don't have the time or the need to go into something. I wouldn't say, well, we can say it as complex as Premiere. You know, it makes it much easier to cut and edit and add music. But you know, there's also another interesting part of this Marshmallow challenge is that a whole bunch of assets were actually provided to you as well. How did you use those? Of course, they can be downloaded from the landing page. Maybe Tim can put the link back in the chat once more. And there's a whole bunch of assets that can be used, images and little icons, and of course the Marshmallow logo, the Be Kind sticker, which I'm seeing right there in the video, you know, and then floral assets and grit and emerging square outline title and all of these sort of things. Have you used any of those?
Yeah, so we used two graphics, the top and tail of the video. We've got the Marshmallow logo at the front and the Be Kind sticker at the end. We've only used those two because we want to keep it, you know, kind of simple. As we said, it's for the TikTok audience, and if we kind of bombard them with too much, it might be overflowing for them.
Yeah. So yeah, no, actually that's a perfect segue also for those, you know, for those of you who maybe don't want to spend time filming or don't feel comfortable filming something yourself. There's a whole bunch of things there that you can use to create these videos. And like Oliver correctly mentions, of course, I talked about Rush, Premiere Rush for mobile devices, but there's also a desktop version of Premiere Rush if you don't want to install Premiere Pro. So yeah, Rush is a great you know, a great opportunity to learn about editing video, and it's really super easy. And like I said, on the webpage, I also see 3D assets like the Marshmallow helmet. It's a Cinema 4D file which can be used in After Effects, or you know, even you can use 3D files in Photoshop and animate them in there as well, like frame by frame if you don't know how to use After Effects. There's so many different things that you can do with the assets that were provided. But of course, the really cool thing is that Be Kind sticker, right?
Yeah, I mean, that had to be there, or you're just missing the point, right? You're like, first thing first, we're putting the Be Kind sticker. Yeah. But actually, that leads to another question as well, because you mentioned phones, Rufus, and we talked about this being super accessible as well. But you know, we had a couple questions in the chat about equipment. So, what do you guys film with? What do you record with? And also, that must have changed, right, from the beginning of your kind of YouTube, you know, career, and then now to being super like snazzy about everything that you have to film. So
I mean, I can talk about the beginning, and then Sam can go into what we have now.
Sure.
Yep.
But yeah, to begin with, you know, when I was first doing the gaming stuff, there was something called Dazzle. And you won't be, I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but we're talking really old school. That was the one where you had like a red, white, and yellow, I think it was, connectors coming out. I mean, this thing was seriously low quality, but it was back in a time where, you know, that was also the norm. And then from there, when it came to cameras for filming, you know, we have a little vlog camera, the ones that I'll take to go out and around. That's called a G7X. That's a Canon. So we use that, and that's fantastic. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff now, especially on the latest iPhones, they're amazing, like in terms of their video quality. And it just, and it's one of those things, it's been talked about for so long now, is that you don't need to go out and buy, you know, a £5,000 camera just, you know, just to have a good, you know, good quality. You'd be surprised as to how much we use, or I use my iPhone right here. It's so handy, fits in your pocket, and anytime I feel like something funny is going to happen, or I know my friend's going to hurt themselves doing something stupid, I pull that out, and I just film on there, and then we convert the file and chuck it into Premiere. But we do also have some other cameras as well that Sam will go into, which is maybe a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, so we have a couple of DSLRs that we like to use. The main work horse, say, is an Sony A7S with the kit lens, because we like the autofocus, because we're often running about. I don't usually have two hands to be operating it. And then apart from that, we have a couple of Sony FS5s and FS7s for the more larger scale videos, like the cook-offs, where we need like a multicam shoot. But yeah, like Cal says, I think the best camera to have is whatever one you've got on you. If it's a little point and shoot, if it's an iPhone, it's the best one. It doesn't matter, you've got it with you.
Yeah. And what about the audio? I mean, like a video with bad audio is a bad video. So
yeah. Definitely.
So how do you guys tackle audio? Like, do you have little lavaliers that you run around with, or like you have a good mic on the camera?
Yeah, I mean, it completely depends on the type of video we're doing. If there is only a couple people in like an echoey room, we'll put a lavalier mic on each of the persons. But most of the time it's just a Rode mic slapped on top of the DSLR, or the iPhone audio is also brilliant. You can use that as a microphone also.
Yeah, we find, because a lot of the time I'm in groups of maybe 3, 4, 5 people, and a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to vlogging stuff, it just happens off the cuff. You don't have time like you would to be like, right, we're gonna mic you up, blah blah blah. It just doesn't work like that. So yeah, we use sort of like a shotgun mic that sits on top of the camera, and that, just wherever you point, it picks out the audio. So we do that. But yeah, like Sam says, I mean, honestly, just you'd be amazed as to what this thing can do nowadays. I'm talking about the more recent ones. Maybe the other ones might not be quite as good, but you said, like Sam says, the best camera you have is the one on you, because you can at least film that way. Just don't forget to turn it this way. I'm fed up of seeing videos this way. Okay, guys, please.
This is the feedback today.
Yeah. So there's a question from Panda. A lot of your recent videos are shot over a span of days. How do you keep an engaging pace and prevent the edits from dragging out?
I mean, well, for me, this was the very first thing that sort of, I guess, me and Sam, when we started working together, was the first thing, especially when it comes to YouTube and this style of vlogging, is cut out any dead space. And what I mean by that is you can actually, the best way that I found to find what I consider dead space to be is really looking at the audio peak. So when you see that there is not really much happening at the end of a clip or whatever, just you'll see, literally right here, just make sure you're trimmed as close to that as possible. And when it comes, this is strictly a vlogging style, by the way. Obviously, when you're creating different types of videos, this will all change. But we're talking about what I tend to make, which is these very straightforward, quick cut, high tempo videos. And that's what we've noticed is when we have this high tempo pace, quick cut that is constantly switching between scenes and it's not dragging out, we find our audience retention to be higher as well. So that's the amount of people that are watching it from the beginning all the way to the end. Sometimes if they start dragging out, it doesn't feel like the pace is quite there, we'll go back, we'll watch through, and we'll simply just be really vicious with it. I'll say to Sam, look, we have to get rid of stuff. It's just taking too long to get to the good parts or whatever. And there might be a couple funny jokes here and there, but you have to be quite savage with it and just accept that not everything is going to make it into the video. And that's probably the hardest part, is being like, oh, this bit was so good, but it just slows down the video too much. So,
Ooh, Rufus, you're on mute. I mean, you can chat away, but we're going to
because the birds are chirping very loudly.
That's quite nice.
Some aggressive.
Everybody can hear that now. Anyway, yeah, Tasnima was asking, as much as the quality of videos are important, but for the vlog style videos that Cal does, don't you have to compromise that for practicability as well?
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, because I think with these more vloggy type videos, the most important thing isn't the quality. It's like the content. It's what the people are saying on camera and what we're trying to capture. If I focus too long on getting the right aperture or the right ISO, I might miss something that's been said, and then the video could flop, essentially.
And I'll get really annoyed. I'll be like, why didn't you have this bit captured? This bit was so funny. Where is it?
I saw a pretty bird and I was filming it. Oh.
But like Cal says, savage.
Yeah.
Savage.
Cut it out.
You have to be savage with it. You have to. But yeah, no, there you go.
I love this. What's your employee culture? Savage. And everyone's like, yeah, sign me up.
No break. Savage.
Yeah.
And we also had a question, actually, we talked about the kind of difficult parts of filming and editing and, you know, making sure you save all the best, you know, pieces. And Amy's asking, what's your favorite part? And what you actually enjoy about this process of like filming and vlogging and things like that. Sam, I can probably answer for you. You're like, when I'm done and this is like live,
Yeah,
and I can like switch off.
Yeah.
It's
Jokes aside, though, I think that it probably is the best bit when you finally finish a project and you get to see the reception of it and see what people think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I agree. I mean, for me, you know, seeing people really enjoy it, I get lots of tweets. I get, you know, people on Instagram messaging me, tell me how much they enjoyed a video. And that is definitely one of my favorite parts. But I also just quite enjoy the filming side of it. Obviously, I'm in front of the camera, so I'm usually doing the stupid stuff. So for me, that is, you know, a lot of the times the fun bit of me messing around with my friends. And yeah, I think that's really great. And it's also, I enjoy it because while I'm filming, I think, oh, this is going to look so funny in the edit. And then afterwards, Sam will either come to me and be like, yeah, that was really good. Or, yeah, we'll try and fix it in the edit. So it's yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's there's quite a few bits that are my favorite.
Hey, Cal and Sam, our time together is almost over. So, you know, just, it's crazy, huh? Like, poof,
Yeah.
1 hour went by.
I've been waffling for far too long. Turn off his mic. Turn off his mic.
Cut it.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe one last question that I would ask both of you is like, what advice would you give somebody looking to start their own social media career? Like,
I think you know, the most important now is one, to understand what you're getting into. Understand that, you know, it's not all going to be rainbows and roses. You know, there are definitely downsides to the thing. There are
and unicorns.
And exactly, of course, don't forget the unicorns. But yeah, no. While there can be amazing parts, and you'll look across and you'll see everyone looks like they are having the best time ever, and it is all unicorns over there. I can promise you that it's not. And you know, there are people go through lots of different problems themselves. They just don't necessarily, you know, have it on display for the public to see. So it's very normal to either be, you know, set back or not. Maybe you think you should be somewhere when you're not maybe there. Just keep going at it, work hard at it, and then also enjoy what you're doing. There's no point doing it if you're not going to enjoy it. So make sure that's number one on the priorities list.
Sam?
I'd say from a technical point, don't get too hung up on how not good you are yet. I mean, I've been on projects where I've finished it and it's not been what I exactly imagined, so I've scrapped it. But I think the best thing to do is pull it out and then learn from it. Don't get hung up on the project. Learn, post it, move on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
Oh,
so
great.
I'm just going to ask Tim to put the link to the Marshmallow project once more into the chat, and I'm also going to ask Tim to add this link into the YouTube description so that people can actually see it there as well. And remember that we are indeed active on Discord, so we have a special Discord channel for these Adobe Live UK streams from the sofa, just like today. We're at, what stream is it today, Emma? We have like
41
streams
in the
behind
UK.
us already, so there's a huge amount of streams that you can watch. Like, yeah, I guess, you know, over 41 hours of streams that you can watch here on behance.net/live. And thanks for posting the link to the Discord, Tim. And yeah, and the Discord we opened just at the beginning of the week. Yeah, right? No, maybe last week. I don't remember. Anyway, very recently. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to continue chatting as a community, as a creative community. You can ask questions there. You can show your work. You can ask for feedback. So it's a great way to stay in touch during these, these rough times for everybody, but as a creative community and still hang out together and share our creativity. And Cal, Sam, what can I say? Thank you so much for your insight and fun project. Have you posted it already?
No, we're literally going to be doing that straight after this. So this
what a teaser.
All right.
I know, exactly. You
we love exclusives.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go ahead and put my washing away after this. I've realized that is...
Did you get a message from a couple people who are like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I've realized that I need to fix up. But it's lockdown, so we all get away with it.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Get forgiven.
You get a pass. Yeah.
We're all kind. Ooh, I managed to like it
Oh, Emma.
Stop it.
All right, everybody. Emma.
Thanks for joining.
Sam.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for
Bye, everyone.
Be kind.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.